Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man.
There we
I
go.
was thinking about doing this out by the pool, man. Actually, while you fixing it up, let me just walk around.
Well, no, you're on. You see?
Oh, okay.
You see how that is right there? Can you see it a little bit?
I can see a little bit.
Watch.
Tell me what works better.
See?
'Cause I'm gonna walk outside real quick.
You see that?
I can see it. I can see it. You see me walking around, right?
I can.
Cool.
So, Twitch Universe, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're back here
Man,
streaming
outside
live.
too much, let me know.
We're right here with my man Sergio Love, the comedian,
What up? What's going on, man?
the comedian, the funniest man alive, and except for our politicians are pretty fucking funny right now. But I want to say, Twitch, welcome one of my closest friends and one of the most talented men on the planet. So, if you want to say hi to everybody.
Okay, what up, y'all? What's going on? Shit, I'm outside right now, but I don't know. You know what? I think I'm gonna go back inside because there's a lot of outside noise. Plus, I don't want the dogs attacking me. Got two pugs. Yeah, man's dog. Yeah.
Well, we're here streaming.
Pudgy and Sparky, but
We have not, Serge. We have not streamed live on Twitch in a very long time because of we had to restructure. We had to do some things, lost some key components, but we've rebounded
yeah,
and back
we on Twitch. We on Twitch, right?
100%.
What up, Twitch?
We're also. Oh, I gotta start this. I just gotta start this podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Who Cares podcast starring me, Stephen with a PH, and Mr. Serge Love.
It's Sturge Love. Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, I ain't been around in a while, man. Shit, I guess I gotta tell everybody a little bit about myself. Let's see. I've been a comic in the comedy store since what? Late 90s, 99 or something like that. Did comedy for a couple of years. Did the whole Hollywood thing. Did more than most people. I kind of did my career backwards. I was in the Hollywood high life years back when, it was, I don't know what to say. I just did my shit in reverse. It started high and it kind of went. But you know what? I'm still coming back, doing some comedy. I know pretty much everybody. I guess the last person at the comedy store that, he had his own skills, but the last dude I recommended before I left the comedy store was Chris D'Elia. Good guy. He's got a great podcast. I watch him all the time. Bobby Lee's one of my favorite people. Of course, Joe Rogan. Say no more. Joe Rogan's a cool dude. We've always been cool. And I pretty much know everybody. I worked with everybody in the industry. Didn't do that many movies, but, got my feet wet. And, did a few commercials, stuff like that. But here I am. Shit, we are in the Matrix now. Whole different time from back then. Whole different time. But, Steve, it's good to hear your voice. And, shit, man, let's get this shit cracking, man. What you want to talk about?
Well, man, I kind of wanted to. Well, first, I probably should record this for the actual real podcast that we're going to be putting out. You can get our podcast live on Spotify or iTunes at any time, or you can go to anchor.fm. Who cares the podcast? But let me just minimize it here. Why am I going to minimize it?
Minimize. Gotta minimize.
This isn't good. This shows you how tech savvy I am.
There's shit ton to talk about, man.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, but there's a lot of people talking, and I think we got to lay it down like how shit really is.
I'm just putting a disclaimer from now. Me, I always try to wake people up and talk to people about different things. I am not here to teach anybody anything. If I say something about some information, go look it up yourself and study from there.
Right.
Because I've been into this for a long time. Different things going on in the world, things people don't pay attention to. There's a lot of great information out there. At the same time, there's a lot of disinformation out there. So you have to gather your own data and keep a file. And when something connects with something else, then you realize you can go down that rabbit trail and see if it's real or not.
Right. Because the other day we were talking about it a little bit, some of your friends.
Confused.
I'm sorry to cut you off. What did you say right there? I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just saying we're in a situation right now. Everybody's a little confused. We're getting misinformation, disinformation, from the COVID to where we're at as a nation. Worldwide things are happening. We're in the matrix right now, and it's crazy. I mean, the world's about to change dramatically. But let's just talk about whatever you want to talk about. People have questions. Let's answer some of the questions. And the main thing is don't panic. Do not panic. And
now's the time to be calm.
Don't let all this information drive you crazy.
Right.
But be aware. That's the main thing. Be aware and really, really start caring about people. Be interested in other people, what they're doing, because without other people interacting, we're not really a nation. You know what I mean? We gotta really start being concerned with everybody else, even if they're preaching, they seem off or whatever. Sometimes, you gotta come and find common ground on issues, because everybody can't be right. What the government's doing on this side is totally different from what we know. And then you got TV and programming and all this crazy news and Donald Trump with I don't know where to begin, bro.
No problem. I'll just kind of steer the ship a little bit, and then we'll just kind of go from there. I think we got to go back, because right now, as we speak, I was going to go to my parents' house tonight, have a little dinner with them, but LA County, I guess, is closing down at 6 o'clock. So because of, and I'm not even blaming the protesters. I'm blaming our leadership. I'm blaming it on the local level. I'm blaming it on the semi-local level. I'm blaming definitely on the state level, and all the way up to the federal. But if I can't go see my goddamn parents, excuse my language, if I can't see my beautiful parents, then now shit is real. No, but I can't go past the
why
6
can't I see bushes outside. I see outside. I don't see.
Oh, you can't. Well, but you're being shown. You're being shown on the actual on the screen here. The camera's hitting. The camera's hitting. Yeah. So it's kind of look like we're right next to each other. So cool.
This way I look at it.
So what I'm saying is that the protesters, people are going to get angry. They're going to act a fool because a majority of these people could care less about it. We'll get to the killing, the terrible killing, but I put it squarely on the ineptness and the morons that have bungled, or, for lack of a better reason, or lack of a better term, promoted an agenda that either there's too stupid or they're in on it. Either way, they all should go.
Well, look, it's like anything else, man. You take a bunch of dollar bills, you throw it up in the air, people gonna start getting wild and doing crazy shit. Right. Me and you, we've been around for a while, so we've seen riots and different stuff like that. Right. From the LA riots to different situations with different people being shot by cops and.
My dad was in the Watts riots.
So you're always gonna get the knuckleheads.
Right.
You're always gonna get those young people that just don't know, and they just do dumb shit, and when shit goes down, now they sorry. But we live in this crazy political time. A lot of these provocateurs were paid by people like George Soros.
Right.
Like, let's say this organization, Black Lives Matter. It really shouldn't. And I say it this way: Black lives should matter.
Of course.
But I think it started out originally as a good group. But when you got people like George Soros,
what does he know?
Look that name up. Look that guy up. I've been watching that guy over 20 years ago. And I watched him go into different nations and destroy them.
Manipulate the shit out of people. Yeah.
He destroys them, takes all their resources, and usually sometimes that's how wars are fought. A lot of our wars.
Right.
People like that come in the middle and they finance both sides to destroy each other. So that's what George Soros is.
Let me touch on that George Soros part. He's always kind of been the boogeyman of the right, or some of that, right?
And him and Kissinger,
right?
Boogeyman, and these people get no trouble. They commit atrocious crimes.
Corporate raiders.
America, and they walk away, and they're untouched.
Yeah.
So this is
George Soros invented these different techniques on how to basically raid different countries' assets.
Right.
And
he's not into paper money.
No.
Paperwork money is for the people
right.
who don't, I hate to say it, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
That paper money, that's debt-bearing bills. It's not worth anything.
Right.
The dollar, for the last, 20
30.
or 15 years,
Nixon took it.
Worth less than 3 cents. It's probably worth a penny now. That's why you see these companies selling for billions, because the dollar is not worth anything.
Okay.
What he deals in is currency,
right,
which is different. It's the value of it's a different. It's a whole different game. I'm even gonna explain that.
No, yeah.
But
maybe enlighten, because I'm sure there's a lot of maybe there's a lot of kids on here.
George Soros.
Yep.
He deals in crumbling
governments,
finances of countries. That's what he does.
Systems.
He goes in and loans you what you need for an outrageous amount, and when you can't pay the bill, he comes in and swoops everything up.
Right.
And he's been involved in all these Black Lives Matter, all these political institutions and all this stuff, and he's still involved. And he sends in these provocateurs. I believe what they're saying is these, because this thing just ignited all of a sudden.
Right.
This, what he did was,
well, he got in. Antifa. He got in Antifa. He got into Antifa
from other states.
Right.
And set these fires and do other things. And there's all these other undercover and all these other people that belong to government, criminals.
Right.
That come in and they instigate stuff, and you got the young knuckleheads looting and robbing,
right,
and it's usually like an AutoZone or CVS and stuff like that. By the way, I think he owns CVS and Target. I believe so. I'm not sure. I just heard that today.
I think you might be right.
But he's
look that up for you.
Throwing money at people,
right,
to go in and do these
to disrupt
acts that elevate these what do you call the people that come in that want to march for a reason, for I know the boy's name. I'm so sorry.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The guy who just passed. I'm sorry.
No. Anyway, what guy? Give me some context.
Yeah, right.
Give me some context. What guy just passed?
The guy, the cotton out on his neck. His name just escapes me. It's not Bailey.
The black man? The black dude?
Yes.
Floyd?
Not black dude.
You're talking about George Floyd?
No. Well, let's stick on Soros.
Okay.
Just look up George Soros.
No, I know. But you know what's funny right now? When I look it up, and I know you're definitely not a conservative or right-wing conspiracy person.
I'm not any of that.
Right. And guess what the first article says? Right-wing conspiracies pull from the old playbook, blame George Soros for the riots. That's the #1 article on Forbes.
Yeah. And I saw George Soros, I would say the early 90s.
Yeah.
I've been tracking this dude. I think he was on 20 or 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
And he was bragging about how he goes into countries.
Right.
And just disrupts stuff and just messes with their finances, because his money is unlimited.
Right.
So he's able to go into these places and just desecrate entire countries. So coming to America, where we've had problems from, name it, from let's say the early 1920s, he's had a hand in a lot of real corruption.
And he's a Greek. I believe he's Greek, right?
And he's a Jewish man.
And Jewish Greek. Yeah, I think he's.
And in Nazi Germany, I believe he was 13 years old, and he was responsible for collecting all the assets of the Jews.
Wow.
During World War II, he was his uncle. They used to go around, like Jews had gold teeth and different things and all that property and stuff. He would be responsible for collecting all that stuff.
And you know what's funny? Right when you said that, I'm reading about how the.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm reading. Right as soon as you said that, I'm reading about how the Anti-Defamation League of Jews, like the, because everything would be anti-Semitic, of course, by Jordan Greenblatt. It says Jewish people who are seen as having allegiances not to their countries of origin, like the United States, but through some global conspiracy. If they don't have, if they don't have the United States or whatever country of origin as their first priority, then they're looked upon as these.
Right.
But that kind of goes back to what.
Let me make something really clear.
Yeah.
The word conspiracy theory was basically brought forward by the CIA, right?
Right.
Just to ward off anything where people go, oh, this is going on, so it's a conspiracy. Well, the definition of a conspiracy is one or two people planning to do something against the state or something like that. I'm not sure the proper definition, but it means more than one person getting together to do something in secret. That's malicious, basically. You know what I mean? So there are conspiracies everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you use conspiracy in, drug dealers.
Right. And they do. They use it against everybody, right?
Away by
the regular people, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's a very powerful word, but people, as soon as they hear conspiracy, they're like, this person doesn't know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, everybody's working so hard just to stay alive or whatever.
That's right.
So distracted with YouTube or gaming. We have so many distractions. And now we got this new technological thing going on. Nobody's taking the time to research and go, oh shit, this is some real shit going on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Nobody's, because we're kind of a self-serving nation. We kind of leave it up to the government to do what they got to do, and we.
You made a great analogy yesterday, Serge. You made a great analogy yesterday about how right, and lay it down. What America is and what we are, the people.
What America is basically that chick. We've all seen that chick, right? That chick with that boyfriend that he ain't shit. He's an arch criminal. He's the worst. He's banging like 20 different broads.
Half of them are friends.
Chick is like, no, he's really good. And they're like, listen, I got video of your boy just pounding all your friends. No, he's not like that. They're lying. And like Joe Rogan says, oh, he's not that bad. He only hits me in the leg, not in the face anymore.
Right.
We're completely in denial. Like, watch the news, and whatever they say is what it is. And listen, everything I say is basically my opinion, but even this COVID thing, man, come on, look at that, man.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a pandemic.
Right, but so we're the chick, we're the abused girl, the society, the people, the regular folks, regular people, the youths, the old, the young, everybody, and even the rich now. And that's what's crazy about this COVID thing is that the rich, they found out they weren't really that rich, and they found out they were just like the people in the apartments because COVID didn't mess with, it did not discriminate, did not care. And they all had a shelter in place and they all couldn't do nothing. And they may have made some phone calls to their mayor or they may have done something, but they realized their money was an FU money. And so then all of a sudden, wow.
I got a different view on it. Because I've been following things for so long.
Yeah, what do you think?
Listen, America's been on the edge of a cliff.
Right.
Since before 2008. 2008, everything was supposed to implode. But it didn't for some crazy reason.
Right. Well, we bailed out.
So financially,
more money
we were already fucked. And then when they did the bailouts, they only bailed out all the big, large corporations.
Right.
People got nothing.
So ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
Somehow they held on through lying to the people, stealing from the people. And now we're at this point, they had to come up with something because it's going to be a financial reset. I mean, a lot of very intelligent people with really good YouTube sites and people with regular great websites, from David Icke, who they call the great conspiracy theorist, to even Elon Musk speaks on it, but he's on the other side.
Well, Elon Musk is I've really come to really appreciate that dude.
He's in the middle, but he's doing something else. I'd like to touch on him a little later.
Right.
But the thing is, we'll financially we've gone off the cliff, right? They're pumping up the stock market, act like it's stuff going on, man. Come on, man.
Right.
Come on. How's the market going to keep going when they shut down the entire world? Not just America, the entire world.
And that's what's crazy.
Shut the shit down for what, 2.5, 3 months now?
Mm-hmm.
And the market's going up? I thought people in companies drove the market. How's this shit going up 700 points? Come on, man. I'm not even in that. Like,
well, people are shopping online.
Things in the market. I did some things. I made some money, lost a lot. But how is the market working when everything's shut down? Yes, okay, there's essential businesses. There's that certain things that have to keep going. Come on, bro.
People are buying booze. People are buying things online. People are.
this new technology. What do you call it? The quantum computers and all that.
Right.
They're supporting these things that are making these imaginary numbers go up.
Right.
I mean, it's so overwhelming. That's why I don't want to.
Right. So
want to teach people stuff, but I'm saying
go out there and look it out for yourself.
See for yourself.
Right. Because we only have a certain amount of time here. We want to just throw things out here, but let's dial it back a little bit. Let's talk first of all about what's going on right now. The video that has now sparked outrage in every single city, major city from Los Angeles right now. Like I just said, my parents, I can't go visit them. LA County, I guess, 6 o'clock curfew. That's crazy. The National Guard is now called in here. Denver, I talked to one of our developers. Denver, now the National Guard's in there. I don't know if you're in Vegas. Is there National Guard there too?
Out here in Vegas, from what I know.
And you know what's crazy? If it's my mom was like, well, the states have control of the National Guard. I said, well, then why is it called the National Guard?
Well,
it's gonna be like State Guard or that.
So we didn't write any notes, so we're kind of just like freestyling right now.
100%.
But this is the one thing I noticed. You and I have seen a lot of outrage and police brutality. A lot of people marching at different times.
Long Beach Police Department beat the shit out of me.
It's the same shit every time.
The Long Beach Police Department beat the shit out of me.
This is a question I'm going to ask you. Now, these things have happened. And now you got this COVID, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
That happened. 6 foot distancing.
Right. Let's real quick. We'll get to that. Let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the.
On how you keep 6 feet apart.
No, but let's go back. Yeah, let's just start with the video. Let's just start with the video that sparked all this.
Let me stick to the point.
Okay. Okay.
The video. I'm gonna work backwards.
Okay.
This is the thing. They know that people are get out and protest to situations like this. Now, what happened in Minneapolis? The minute it happened, and the minute that police officer didn't get arrested,
right,
along with the other police officers who witnessed it,
right, turn their back on it.
Yep. The minute that happened, any governor or any mayor that had any sense,
100%,
would have had the National Guard ready right away as soon as it happened. Right?
Absolutely. They
went in there, and I'm telling you, I can't prove it, but they did catch one cop who was breaking windows at AutoZone. Because it's always an AutoZone, CBS, and a Target.
They need some spark plugs, Serge.
It's always in there. But guess what? Somebody said George Soros owns CBS and Target.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Somebody just told me that today. I didn't look it up.
I got let me see how much you. Yeah.
This police department was like a fortress.
What happened to Kmart?
It was like 5 stories or something.
Oh, right, exactly.
Now, imagine all the evidence that's in there.
Right. Let's speak on that. Yeah.
Prisoners in there. You got artillery in there. You got unspeakable shit that's in those buildings. And we witnessed that shit burn to the ground. That's a little strange to me.
A little.
After that, almost a day after that.
Still no National Guard.
Nobody making a speech. Nothing.
Still no National Guard.
The National Guard didn't show up till
last night.
Last night. So what's that? A day and a half?
2 nights.
Something's going on, man. Somebody's saying, "Yo, let them do this shit because this COVID shit ain't working, and we need another crisis, another situation." All of a sudden, as we speak right now, I heard Santa Monica is going off right now. I haven't even looked yet, but I got a lot of calls of people like, "Yo, this shit is like off the chain out there right now." So something serious is happening, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to stick on this thing. I want to get into the COVID thing.
Well, let me just real quick. George Soros is
excuse.
Real quick, Serge. George Soros' stake in Target is bigger than ever.
Oh, what a coincidence.
This is 2011. He had 2.7 million shares of Target.
You feel what I'm saying? In LA, what they show, CVS and Target. I didn't even know that Target bought out CVS.
What?
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that until somebody mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I forgot to look it up. But it's something. You see how you connect the dots? Like you gotta have and then you got to know who owns what and what's going on with
Well,
it.
you're giving that to the people right now.
They think they're brilliant, but they're so stupid and they're so loose with it because they realize the general public, they don't look into shit.
No, they want to blame each other, racism, or like if the ghettos getting out of control. Like, I'm looking at some of the Huntington Beach communities, and they're so mad at they're like, people board up your shops, board up all your. And just 2 weeks ago, they're like, let's open up these shops. We can't, and now they're like, board up the shops because Antifa, they're having some riots here in downtown. And I'm like, what is going on? Last week you wanted to be open, now you want to shut it down. What are you guys talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and like somebody said something about like you can't open up a barbershop, but abortion clinics are open.
Right.
Like what the?
Right.
It's madness.
CBD.
Into some crazy madness where we won't even know what's up and down. Like they say the world is upside down. Some people listen. I can't say I'm religious, but there are some ancient books, a lot of books that I've read,
right,
and a lot of things that are going on that are in line with what was prophesied, stuff like that. And we are in a strange time, bro. And we're coming out of the age of Pisces. We're going into, what's the song? The dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Yep.
We're going into, there is cosmic things that line up. I can't get into that.
No, but no wonder. I'm a Pisces. No wonder I feel so strong right now.
There's a lot of strange things happening cosmically that are in line with some of these ancient books.
Absolutely.
And shit, you don't even, if you read any of the ancient books from the Bible to the Torah to whatever, you don't even have to watch the news. Just look at the books. It's telling you what's happening.
Absolutely.
It's pure chaos and deception.
And they're using these. They're using us against ourselves.
Age of deception.
And we're falling right step in line with it.
You know that?
What's up?
The age of Pisces was the age of deception.
Ah, wow.
So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Makes sense.
But for all the new people to everything, this is the thing. The only thing I can tell you is if somebody says something, some people go off the deep end with certain things, and I can understand that. But the thing is, don't be quick to dismiss somebody.
Right.
They may have some important information.
Absolutely.
That's going on. I know we all over the place because we don't really have we haven't laid this thing out. So I'm all.
No, but we wanted to have this for the people. We wanted to at least get this out here, so maybe some people are watching this and they're going, you know what? Maybe it's not all about racism. Maybe it's not about it's about classism. People, wake up.
There's only thing called moneyism.
Right. Classism, moneyism, whatever you want. Yep.
It's classism. And guess what? You know what the biggest religion in the world is? Take a guess.
The almighty dollar.
The big religion that trumps all religions.
The almighty dollar. Well, not our dollar, because that's only 3 cents.
Money.
Exactly.
Money. But that paper money that you see the rappers with the fucking brick phone, dumb shit they doing, that ain't money, bro.
Right.
That's debt-bearing bills.
Right.
It tells you right on there. It's a debt-bearing bill.
Right.
It's a debt. It's not worth anything.
That's why they were so scared of Bitcoin.
I hate to go off into it, but my ex-girlfriend's, I don't know if you do, Cap, but my ex-girlfriend's mom was in Nazi Germany. She was, pure German, right? And I think she said she saw the money system change twice, but I know she said it happened once. They said, yo, you got a week or 2 weeks to spend all that paper because it ain't gonna be worth shit. She said when that shit went down, all the cash was it carpeted the streets because it wasn't worth anything anymore.
And they don't care. It's like confetti. Right. Exactly. It's only whatever value we put on it, right? So yeah, as we were talking about that yesterday, remember we were talking about how with the $1 trillion stimulus that just got enacted, then they're talking about $3 trillion. I mean, the $3 trillion stimulus, then another $3 trillion. Everybody's getting all this. Oh, I got $1,200. Oh, now all of a sudden you're going to see that price of this get raised unbelievably. I'm already starting to see this. I'm gonna
get to that because it's so funny. Is you're gonna see the price of food, but this is what people don't realize. This is what we have a problem doing because I watch shit around the world all the time. It started about 5 years ago when they started seeing these weird sinkholes and these weird weather anomalies and all this shit, and all of a sudden they're talking about global warming. all this shit, right?
Right.
All of a sudden, this is where I go, that's strange. Now the Pope gets involved.
Right.
And then, now the Pope is talking about
Right.
carbon taxes. Carbon? Wait, you want us to pay more taxes on shit that your industrial people are doing? That makes sense here?
Yeah, you know what's crazy during this whole when everybody had to shelter in place. What do you know? Ozone layer is now closing up again, and the air has never been clearer. Just 1 month of not doing nothing. I can't believe just since the Industrial Revolution we've destroyed our
People don't know what Freemasonry is. They don't know what the CFR, Council of Foreign Relations. I'm not saying people are stupid or nothing like that. I'm just saying things you don't pay attention to, because when you live in life, you're doing shit, you're trying to survive, you're trying to get ahead, you're trying to, you got all these distractions, all this shit online, and
you got to raise a family, you got to do this.
Right? You got movies, you got all stuff. You don't want to pay attention to shit. But until you understand what Freemasonry is and where it comes from, and it goes back to Kabbalah, all that shit, then you'll start understanding what's really going on in this world.
100.
And you have to understand what they are, and the different levels. There's council. There's a council 9. There's the roses. It goes on and on and on. There's all these institutions that came from all these royal families and all these family factions, and you got the Vatican. Oh shit, you don't even want to.
Yeah.
People don't even. Yeah. I'm all over the place, but how big do you think the library of the Vatican is?
I did see some kind of tour, but they didn't let them see the whole thing or something like that, right? It has every text, it has every book, the original copies of everything.
Why is that 26.2 miles?
Right.
Why is
the Vatican City one of the only 3 cities in the world that does not have any ties to any country? The other one being Washington D.C. and the other one being London. They have no ties to any country.
Library? Like, listen, I need on the Holy Ghost. He's like, well, listen, if you go 12 miles that way, make a left, then make a right, go around a roundabout, and then you'll find it in the
26-mile library.
Like, there's so much. This is what America has to get used to. We've been born into lies, and we've been lied to a lot of shit. Like, it's not like the lies just started.
But we've had a good life, though, Serge, up until this point.
A lot of things. So even the things that you know to be true is a lie. A lot of things written in books. I went to school. I paid,
right.
$50,000 semester
to listen to some dude bring his own agenda into your classroom.
False information, and all they have to do is take that book, change a few things in it, or just.
Or who's the donor? Or who's the donor to that particular school?
So there's the only upside to this shit is that we're going on a spiritual path.
Some of us are.
Some of us are. Some of us can't be helped. And
that's what it is.
I believe something good will come out of it. But a lot of bad things are going to happen.
To get there.
Namely, I think what's coming next on the list is control of the food. That's when the food prices go up, and it's going to get to a point where no matter how much you got, you can't really get food. They're going to starve people into submission, into getting these shots, into getting whatever is needed for you to be under control.
That's what happened in the fall of the Soviet Union. The food supply ran out, and everybody was like, wait, what the fuck did we give up communism for when we're now all starving? And then that was the rise of the oligarchs.
And that's what I was telling you, all these weather anomalies and all these things. And, you got things like HAARP you can look into.
Oh, right. The weather dominator? The weather dominator?
You can hear Kennedy in his 60s speech before he got killed. Well, hopefully before he got killed. Talking about weather wars.
Right.
Back then. They were talking about weather wars back in the 50s. Control the weather and the atmosphere. So, they know where things grow and things don't grow.
Right. What Katrina, remember that? And it was like,
the United States last year got flooded out. All middle America got completely flooded. Mm-hmm. Completely. And there was going to be a food shortage then. And then we had another issue, another flooding. So food is about to go through the roof, bro. And this is the problem. People who have children are going to have to do things they didn't want to do just for the survival of their own children. I understand it. I don't have children, so I ain't going to worry about it. But I do have a lot of people that I care about.
You may, though.
Concerned with.
You may have a couple.
So we're really going to have to figure out how to support each other and be not about me, selfie here, selfie there. We got to be like somehow a larger community in order to survive, bro. Because this shit is going to get nasty. You know what I mean? All this 6 foot distance, and it's for your mental, for you to be apart from people, to be like, oh, they're over here, we over here. Come on, man. It's the most.
Can I stop you real quick?
Start talking about this corona shit.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
And speaking on exactly what you said, I saw this quote today. Muhammad Ali. I never heard him say this, but I saw this. He said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth."
It's the greatest thing you could ever do is to be service to others. Now, I ain't saying you got to kiss nobody's ass.
100%.
I'm saying you got to be service to other people, and you got to look at other people's children almost like your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
To create that village situation, because I mean, even the masks that people are wearing, walk around with that nasty ass shit, taking it on, taking it off.
I'm not even gonna tell you what mine smelled like today, and I have great breath.
You're protected for something where it's nasty as fuck, bro.
Yeah, no, it is.
If you're touching shit, you're taking it off. It's the most asinine thing I've ever seen. People walking with a mask. I'm safe. Why aren't you wearing a mask? Like, the fuck out of here. Your dick can die slow. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Let's be 100 with this, man. I'm not trying to be anti. You got to be careful. You got to be, they said this shit is out. But the last time I checked, when I was watching this shit in China, after they did this mock pandemic,
right?
They did a mock run in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they started showing the shit on the news in February. Talking about, pandemic. When you see Asian people, I can't take it no more. Jumping off the buildings. Motherfuckers dropping flat on their face. And you see the blood splatter. I don't know if it was CG. I don't know.
Hey, real quick, Serge.
People were dropping dead in public.
Real quick, did you see that? Remember Hong Kong, all those protests? They just now have succeeded all of Hong Kong's rights. During this time, Hong Kong is now officially, everybody out there, Hong Kong is now officially given up all their rights that they were trying to hold on before this whole pandemic. And it, I guess silently now, we all find out that is the, but it maybe made a blurb in the news. Maybe.
This is the funny thing, Steve. This is the funny thing. Because I say I follow everything all the time. It's not like I'm
right.
glued to the TV.
Right.
But I keep seeing shit. And if I keep seeing it, I go, oh shit, let me add that to the record, because one thing connects with the other thing that happened maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
But I keep my files on what's going on and how it's progressing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The shit that it's kind of ironic that Hong Kong was going off,
Mm-hmm.
where they were going against the government. Italy was going off, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Rioting. Switzerland had shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Germany had shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Germany,
especially because
Istanbul, Peru,
right.
Probably about 6, 7, 8, 9 other countries.
Well, what about just below us? What about just below us, Mexico?
Uprisings were happening, and what was it all over? The people not getting cheated out of their money, getting taxed higher. France, remember, with the yellow jackets.
Mm-hmm.
All the shit was going on, and it was going on for months. Remember? This shit wasn't like a 2-day excursion, a 3-day,
right.
Memorial Day. Yeah, let's go fuck shit up for Memorial Day.
Right.
This shit was going on for months. So what better way to shut the shit down? A motherfucking pandemic.
There you go.
And it shut it all down. Everybody's quieted in the church mouse.
And that's the difference between any pandemic before. We didn't have flight. We didn't have the transcontinental going back and forth from all the different people going back and forth. When there was a pandemic, 1917 or whatnot, for the most part, people the Wright brothers just invented the airplane a couple years before that. So we didn't have that kind of traveler. It did not shut down the entire world like this one did. And anybody that doesn't realize that this is unheard of, we are going into a time that there's a lot of different factors here that's never in the history of the world.
I mean, even in
Yeah,
China,
never in the history of the world been.
People were falling flat on their face was, I think, it had something to do with the 5G thing. Remember, China. If you look at in the world how much of the world China has control of, it'll make your head spin.
Right.
And they are full on with 5G in Wuhan and parts of China. Right? So you turn that stuff on. I'm not saying that 5G is the cause of
right. The waves or whatever.
I'm saying it could be part of it, because if you're
really you believe so there's something to that.
The radiation or the waves could agitate what you're already ailing from.
Yeah, and like you said, we don't want to be conspiracy theorists, but a lot of times when there's smoke, there's fire, right? Just like.
Conspiracy theorists?
What's up?
Nah, fuck with you.
What'd you say?
He's like conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. Now, is it completely like, oh, all the waves, just when the cell towers come up, oh my God, that just gave me COVID? No, but maybe there's, but it's up to the people to research.
What brought my attention to this shit, because I remember this dude was pushing it, right? He's like, 5G, 5G, it's the number one thing for America, blah blah blah.
Right.
But
I'm gonna clean the screen right now. Yeah.
So I said to myself, I go, has anybody even beta tested this? This before I even knew anything about it.
Right.
And then they go to Congress, and Congress asked, have you guys even tested this shit? He goes, well, no. What the fuck? That's the problem with America. Like I told you, it's like that girlfriend who has that outrageous boyfriend that he can do anything, but she just chooses to ignore it. She's like, no, he didn't kill 12 people. Well, maybe they just made him mad. You know what I mean? She always got an excuse for him.
Well, in saying that, what about we ignored the 200 CEOs in 2 months that all quit the largest corporations? Bill Gates, the day that they shut down, shut us all down globally. He leaves the only position, the only company that gave him any kind of prominence, that made him at one point the richest man in the world. He takes that day, even for optics' sake. Let's say he's not even in on anything. Why the fuck would he take that particular day to do that?
Listen.
And it's like he laughs in your face.
On him. I know over 2,000 CEOs stepped down.
Right.
A year before any of the COVID shit came in, because they
Disney, Bob Iger stepped down a month before.
But nobody looked into who his parents were. His father was a big time eugenicist. His mother was huge in like world banking or some shit like that. And his brother, I'm not sure if his dad or his mom headed up Planned Parenthood.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. And all of a sudden, this dude has the authority and over doctors to implement vaccines. You know what? I got laughed out of the room about 2 months ago.
He keeps opening his
with
mouth.
some of my friends. I go, yo, look it up. That's why I always tell people, look it up. Don't listen to me. Just go on your own path. So you don't have to say, well, Serge said.
Right, 100%.
All you can say is like, Serge said this, and I looked into it, and I found this out. Bill Gates already killed a gang of people in India with a vaccine.
Right, he bragged about it.
Young teenage girls in Mexico dealing with something about their reproductive. I don't have all the information, but I know a lot of people died in India. He got ran out of there, and a lot of people got messed up in Mexico. He got ran out of there. And who the fuck is he? Now he's like, oh, everybody's got to get it. Everybody's got to get a vaccine. The other day, they sent something to Africa for the testing, where the person who came up with the actual testing for COVID said, this is not the proper way to test. This is just, it's hard to explain, but it's dealing with like actual tissue. That's how you can test for the COVID. But they tested a fruit, and the fruit had COVID. You know what I mean? I can't remember which company. I hate to give out information like that.
No, that's all right. No, we're listening, dude. All this stuff, everybody needs. Look at it. You can say Sergio's full of shit, or you could, or you could just take a couple of these tidbits and what we're talking about. Look up all the CEOs, Google CEOs, Sergey Brin, and the other They left their position. They were like emeritus, and now they completely left Google to go chase after some what if companies.
They said, oh well, you know, they just make a stock grab, and it's about you know, how they go about making money.
You know what? Let's say that they're the ones that aren't the ones in on it, right?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, let's say they're the ones.
They knew it was coming.
Of course they did.
I mean, look, there 200 major CEOs stepped down between December and February.
Yep. 200 between in 2 months, people. In 2 months, 200 of the major CEOs: Disney, Bob Iger, Google.
Jeff Bezos is made from.
Well, Jeff Bezos is a good guy. We're on Twitch right now. Jeff Bezos, all right.
Oh, this is his shit? Yeah. Well, he can eat a dick and die slowly. So this motherfucker, you know how much he made since March 13th? I think that's when they did the shutdown.
Right.
You know how much he made?
How much?
$463 billion.
Yeah, he's. You know, they say he's on his way to be a trillionaire, but some of your buddies are already trillionaires. Your ex-buddies.
I got one buddy who's a true trillionaire.
You know what I'm talking about?
One of the fucking Arab.
Yeah, right.
How old are you? Yeah.
Right.
But this is so funny how they measure money too, bro. They say Bill Gates is the richest man in the world.
Bullshit. They don't even have any idea what the Saudis have on it.
Like, get out of here, bro. These people be making money. Listen, Rome never fell, bro. Rome never fell.
It's called the Vatican.
They just changed it up.
That's right.
They just boomed out and like, yo, where you going? I'm going north.
So and to bring this back into reality here, we haven't even talked really about George Floyd and whatnot, and why America right now they're putting curfews on us. They're enacting. They're making my parents scared, and that's what I'm really pissed off about. You're making my parents scared. And if you make my parents scared anymore, we're not protesting. We're going globally protesting. Yashima say to all my Japanese friends, you make sure that doesn't happen in Japan.
What's that?
I said, we're not just you and I aren't just protesting out in the street here down in Huntington Beach. Who gives a fuck? We're protesting. We're protesting globally here. We're telling people, giving people information. What?
Protesting in the street doesn't do shit, bro.
Doesn't do shit.
Let's keep it 100, bro. Other than, you know, a couple of shit being burnt, things being burnt down on that.
Right now, you have the ability. What we're doing right now, maybe there's a couple of people watching this, maybe there's not. I don't know. I can't really see right now. But we're going global right now.
Starting a web channel and protesting this way than doing it on the streets.
Come on,
because
people.
These people when they're on the streets. It's a good thing when people get together.
Right.
They protesting. They got masks on now. How the fuck you gonna do the person next to you?
Right.
Who the fuck is that? He got a fucking mask on looking like a ninja. What's that? You don't even know who that is, bro. And then you go, why is that dude lighting that building on fire?
Right.
You don't know who that is.
And now you're caught up in it.
You don't know who it is. There's got to be a better meeting of the minds. You can't be out in the street going, fuck out of here.
Do you think any of these people really care about George Floyd?
This is the thing with George Floyd.
I'm just saying. Do you think any of them really care? I mean, a lot of it too. A lot of them are like these white kids that are coming in.
They always get us as people of color. They
right.
Get us. And when I say that, I mean,
you do.
I'm not outing everybody else, but I'm saying people of color because we've been on the beat down for so long.
Right.
We are emotional beings. So the minute something jumps, that's why brothers be like, I'm a titty. I'll beat you like that.
Right. Yep.
We're just emotional like that.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that to some Chinese guy. Everybody would be quiet. You know what I mean?
Our own gift is our own enemy. We're very.
That's a beautiful saying right there.
Let me tell you. Let me finish what I'm
saying.
saying.
I'm sorry.
The problem with what's going on is that we take an emotional stance right away.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to shit with the old boy who got gunned down in that neighborhood in Georgia.
Oh.
Same shit. We get emotionally caught up
because it's so egregious.
We miss what's going on.
Right.
We don't say, yo, are they setting us up?
Mm-hmm.
Do they want us to react like this?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And this case is kind of weird. The dude who stepped on Floyd's neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know they used to work in a nightclub.
17 years.
17 years, bro. So obviously they knew each other. Even if you don't fuck with somebody after 17 years, man, it's like, yeah, it's my daughter's birthday. Oh, come on, bye.
Yeah.
Come on.
You tell me he didn't recognize that dude?
That's a very strange thing. The dude who was videoing was like, yeah, man, I used to be at the academy, and that's not how they train us. I found that to be a little strange.
What?
Cut to the officer's wife, who was Miss Minnesota, right?
That's even crazier. She's allowed.
Her brother-in-law was one of the officers on the scene.
No, I heard that was false.
Oh, okay.
I did hear that was false.
Information. That's what I'm saying.
However,
Feel free to
she said, "No, I divorce you now because what you did, what you did this day, I did not know that you had that in you. I'm totally divorcing you because of which I mean, stand by your man. I guess she doesn't.
That's his ex-wife, though.
No, she divorced him that moment. Like as soon as they put a fucking microphone in her face, she's like, "Oh no, I'm divorcing him right now because he did that.
Listen,
because he did that."
You know what? Something.
And why does he look like Timothy McVeigh?
That guy Floyd, I looked at some of his other video stuff, and he was very about the community.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed like a great guy. It was a basketball player. He was like, yo, that's my twin, and they look alike.
He's friends with Steven Jackson from
what was said about him and from his character, he seemed like a really good dude. Like
100%.
Maybe he's got shit he did, whatever. But
they don't even know if he was the one that passed the bill.
But for this to be over
$20 bill,
$20 or $10 bill.
That's unbelievable.
This shit don't make sense to me, bro.
Mm-mm. And if it doesn't make sense to intelligent people,
it just doesn't make sense to me, bro. It's just like, how can I say, man? You know what? I'm not gonna discredit his death because we saw it happen on camera.
Maybe. You know what the autopsy report just said? You know what the autopsy report just said? The autopsy report just came out and said, yesterday, and I haven't watched any news. I've just read a couple articles. The official autopsy report said he died of arteriosclerosis around the heart and intoxicants. Not anything to the larynx, not anything to his neck. That did not play any factor in his death.
Bro, did you see that motherfucker? Did you see his knee on his neck though?
I did. It's the worst. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing. It's just like unbelievable. So. I couldn't believe it. Right? It was the saddest thing I ever saw.
There's two things of it, and this is just my opinion. If I was an officer, I would have had him arrested right on the spot. Actually, no, I would have kicked the shit out of him and got
100%.
fired for kicking the shit out of him. I'm not going to allow another man to murder somebody right in front of me. Like, come on, man. And when that happens,
I'm not surprised.
Like the state of California, guilty by association. When you're watching it happen, you kind of deserve the same charges. Maybe 100. A lesser charge, but
yeah, okay. And that's because look at what's the play? It's right behind me. It's right in front of me. And Megan and I were kind of talking about this. If you're in that situation, you're videotaping. What do you do in that situation? Because if you do something, your ass is going to get shot too, right? So what's the play in that situation by a bystander? By a bystander.
I'm going to say I would do this. I know I probably might get shot, or I may have created some kind of distraction.
You got to be smart, right?
I'm not going to run right at the dude, but I would create some kind of distraction where I probably get arrested, but at least it save that man from getting killed.
Like you and me, if we're watching that, you and me get in a fight to take away to take the distraction away from that. Oh shit, that shit's being popped. I don't know.
Or
I'm just saying.
Somebody went that direction and tripped up and like fell on the floor right next to him. What are they gonna do? They're gonna do something.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm not gonna watch another man just get murdered.
100%. So that's what we're trying to do. What's the play in life? Nothing against those bystanders. In the moment they don't know what's going on, but from now on you don't have to attack the cop. Like you said, create a distraction, so that
right thing. Move as a crowd. If the whole crowd move, what they gonna do? If the whole crowd bum rush you, what they gonna do?
Oh shit! Well, they're gonna let the precinct go up on flames.
Yeah, but do the right thing. But there's too many things to happen. I told you, the whole precinct burned to the ground.
That's so weird.
If I recollect right.
They wouldn't even.
They showed the whole building burned down, bro.
When I was like 16, they called the cops on me and my buddy, like throwing things at a trash can.
To ward off anybody. They got an arsenal in that building. It burns to the ground.
And speaking about that, I as horrific as that video was, and I don't know, I'm sure you've dealt with your share of cops, but I know the Long Beach Police Department, I'll talk to you right now, they definitely went out of their way. 15 of them beat the living shit out of me away from everybody. Took me around the corner, away from everybody, and literally had their way with me. Told me they were going to kill me. And made sure that I didn't get hit on my face so that I would take a nice mugshot. Picked me up by my, by the cuffs. And I didn't have feeling like, I mean, I'm like, I had no idea that this is what happens. And I get to the booking place, and the guy goes, "You're lucky you didn't get killed."
Yeah, bro.
Because I hit a cop. Accidentally. I was in a fight.
Usually is a lot of ex-cops or cops. I know a lot of dudes from a lot of places. I've seen a lot of law enforcement and ex-dudes do some crazy shit.
I mean, Long Beach has a history of killing people, and nobody does anything about it.
A lot of these dudes come out of the military, man. Especially dudes who've been in Iraq.
Right.
They give a fuck, man. They blow little kids' heads off.
Right.
From half a block away.
100. No, so I understand.
Like,
yeah.
It's not a
Right.
Listen, there's a lot of good dudes in there. I'm not trying to.
100. Yeah, no, I know. And to try and assimilate back into society, that's a motherfucker. And to ask that of our people for fucking no reason, to go what? To go get some oil or something?
I remember. I'll never forget.
It's bullshit.
I just came to LA. I made a big mistake one time.
Huh?
I came to LA. Remember when the gangs were out and all that shit? When the gangs were out full force, carjacking, drive-through, shit like that?
Late 80s, early 90s.
No, I came in 96.
96, okay.
When I
Mid-90s.
LA. I moved to Orange County, but I used to visit LA. And I remember being at, I can't remember the name of that Cuban spot. But it was K-9 unit and another LAPD. I was sitting like kind of right, not next to them, but a diagonal from them. But I was, very close. And these dudes were bragging about how many people they killed and how, you want to wet them down because, that if they live, that's more paperwork. And they were bragging about that shit, dude. And
that's real. I know you're being real about that. You don't bullshit.
And you're looking at me, and I'm like, damn, I hope I get out of here. But they were like letting loose, like I wasn't even there until I was there. I was in their blind spot, kind of. You know what I mean? And these dudes.
Okay.
Listen, these guys are levels. A lot of them are levels of Freemasons too. That's why.
Nah,
if you don't understand.
They're low level dudes, man.
You'll never understand what government is.
They're soldiers.
You'll never understand why things are going on and how they're going on. You'll never understand what the Georgia Guidestones is. And I urge everybody to go look up Georgia Guidestones right now.
How do you spell that?
And that's a Freemasonic structure. And it's just like Georgia Guidestones.
Okay.
Guidestones.
Guidestones, okay.
Yeah. And it's built like, what's that thing in England? What do you call that thing?
What do you call it? Ridge. Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. And it's made out of some kind of granite or something.
Right, that nobody placed there, right?
That shit was placed there in Georgia.
Is that where David Icke went? Is that where they take the kids and they drink their blood?
It was it's basically the new commandments.
Sorry, now we sound like we're out of our mind, but
languages. They're saying they're gonna get rid of 7 billion people, get the population down to 500 million.
Right.
And this shit is sitting in America. Now I know.
Wait, where is this at?
It's in Georgia. It's called the Georgia Guidestone.
Was it by where that guy was jogging?
No, what guy jogging? No.
Okay, sorry.
This is south. This is way south. I've never personally been there.
No, because
I'm telling you,
he was in Georgia.
If I was any kind of like military or anybody in government, whatever, I would have that shit blown to pieces. Because you can't have a place that represents freedom and liberty, and everybody has free speech, but you can't talk about wiping the South. That's not free speech.
Right.
That's not free speech. I don't give a fuck what it is. You talking about the orphan people? You can't have that shit.
Right.
That's why I knew this whole shit was bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. You let them put that shit up there, and you walk around with your camera. Oh, that's cute. This is a very nice place to visit. That's a nice little place. You know?
Right.
You got the fucking Japanese. They go kill everybody. No, fuck that, bro. Right. You can't have shit like that. Right. That's one of the things, they say freedom of religion. Fuck that. You know what? Satanists, the people who who drink blood and there's adrenochrome and they're putting kids in cages and
right.
and torturing people.
Right.
That's not a religion, bro. That's death.
Right, right, and that's another thing that people don't really.
We want to worship what we want to worship. We don't hurt people. That's freedom of religion.
Right.
When a motherfucker's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody in this motherfucker.
Right. Right.
And you know, put some horns on this shit.
Right.
Fuck you. You didn't think that slow again.
Right. All the imagery that's being perpetuated on our use of the world. And look at, we love some evil stuff. We love all that kind of stuff. It's cool, but it's when it becomes like, you know, when you see Beyonce coming out in like snake. I mean, some of these robes that she has are straight out of like biblical times.
She can do what she wanted, but let's get to it. There's Luciferianism, and there's Satanism, and there's a lot of other factions. There's all kinds of fucked up shit out there.
Right. But it's evil at the end of the day.
What people gotta understand, we didn't just show up today. Some of these cults and groups, and just because it's a cult doesn't mean it's bad. Cult doesn't mean bad. Cult means hidden. Right. But some of these
What's the play could be a cult.
Thousands of years old, like the Druids. I know a bunch of thousands of years old, man. Their shit goes way back from when people weren't even speaking English. I actually think English is a trap. I think English was set up for us not to understand the Latin and all these other languages.
Yes.
It caps us. That's why the Bible is written. Well, it was transferred in Greek.
Right. But let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question.
Was it Latin?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, because this question was posed to me recently, maybe this past year. You know, in Spanish, right? They don't have a lot of descriptive words. They don't have the same amount of descriptive words that we do, right?
Yeah.
So when your own language is hindering you, does that make you, I don't want to say less intelligent. That is not what I'm saying. But do you get what I'm saying? If their language doesn't allow you to expand, even though English gets a bad rap for like, okay, well, this word means this, and this, you know, there, this, that, you know. But if you have the ability to expand on words and concepts and all that, and Spanish may limit you, while it's a beautiful language, which is one of the original Romance languages, do you think that hinders a person's intelligence?
I think it's all a trap. I think the English language, as brilliant as it is, I think it's a trap.
Okay.
There's a guy I listen to sometimes online. And I don't agree with everything he says, but there's a guy named Jeffrey Dowdy.
Who agrees with anything?
The Christian whistleblower. And he said some interesting things, because sometimes if you go into the Bible, it was so weird. He goes, yo, I challenge anybody to come see me. Anybody. Nobody won't come see me. All these evangelists, all these Learjet buying, evangelist, Christian, all these people. Oh, God, I spoke to God this morning. Right? All those people. Not one person challenges him, because he goes into the language and he says what that word actually means. This was interesting. Now, going back to the Torah, the Hebrew, right? There are so many words in Hebrew. And the Torah was the original book that the Bible comes from, right? Right. If I'm...
Aramaic?
Well, when we go to Jesus, I think he spoke Aramaic.
Oh, that's true, because Hebrew was before, way before the Old Testament, way before that, yeah.
But there are many words in the Torah that you cannot translate into English. Right. I'm like, how's that possible? They're like, yo, there's just no way of saying it.
That's crazy. So they are the most intelligent. They are the chosen people. We're all fucked.
There's shit that's blocking them. And there's so much stuff we don't know, man. I mean, look.
Right. And that's the thing.
You've heard of Nero's circus, right? Nero's circus. You've heard of that? Where he used to torture people and do all these.
Nero, the Roman.
Do you know that courtyard in the Vatican where that giant dick is there? The fucking obelisk, whatever that shit is.
Right. Yes, I do.
That they did a exorcism on. You know, they did an exorcism on this.
I did not know that.
That's where Nero was torturing all those people. So thousands and thousands of people die in that circle that people visit every year.
And thousands of people visit every year.
Look it up. That's what I'm saying. Audience, go look it up. I looked it up. I checked it out.
Right. Yeah, there's a fascinating documentary. I should look it up right now. There's a fascinating documentary that I heard about. All the bishops, all the they were able to get access to these guys, and these guys actually said they were on camera. They in this documentary. You can, I don't know where you can get it, on Amazon or something. They allowed access, and they gave, these are actual sitting cardinals in the Vatican talking about how the homosexual sect is cool with the pedophile sect as long as they don't.
It's allowed.
Right,
It's
but
allowed.
as long as they don't. Yeah, as long as they don't, you don't mess with my stuff, we don't mess with your stuff. Yeah.
Priests right now convicted of pedophilia.
I mean, if that was a company, we would shut that company down. Wouldn't we?
4,000, bro. You
Yeah.
can't tell me the devil don't live in that motherfucker. You know what? People always try to do this shit. Oh, don't mean to offend people of the faith or the Catholicism.
I mean, look, I'm sure there's good priests. I really do. But
along with almost all of these Christian
Sects.
or what do you want to call
Non-denominational.
Are all built on satanic bullshit. It's all built. Dude, you know how many what do you call it? Denominations of Christianity are?
Lutheran,
Take a guess.
a gazillion.
How many do you think there are?
I don't know. There's like 30 in Costa Mesa.
Well, that's hey, you can don't include the Chicanos, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's those guys too. Do the car washes.
The loan sucks, bro. Anyway, last I checked, it was 37,000, and now I think it's at 32,000. So now you can Google that for those who are watching.
32,000 different non-denominational Christianities. Like, what?
Yes.
Can they all just understand that they all worship the same dude?
You gotta remember, what's his name? Oh God, what was his name? The guy the Roman who took on Christianity. What was his?
Constantinople.
Oh,
Constantine made it though. Made Roman Catholic. He made it Roman Catholic.
Constantine, he accepted it.
Right.
You gotta remember what he did to make it Catholicism. You know what he did? He took all the people that was into witchcraft, all devil worship shit, all of them, and he put them all in one. So that's what Catholicism is. That's what it is.
How many years after Jesus Christ died was Catholicism enacted?
Listen,
500 years?
Any church that's 501c3 is on the hit list as far as you're into some shit you don't even know about.
Well, look at.
Because there's a reason why they make you 501c3, because they always have people sitting in there watching you, making sure you're not really reading the real scripture. Once you stay out of the book, you're good. You get free tax. You're tax free.
Right.
You get to buy
Which we're looking into what's the play to be a tax free. We're looking at what's the play being a tax free shelter. No, but let me tell you real quick though, Sergio. I do take, when we talk about this, I do take some. It pains me because Catholicism is my religion.
Dude, I started in Catholicism.
Yeah, no, I know, but it hurts. It's like little daggers. Even though I know we're right about, maybe we're not right about 100% of this, but there is truth and it's not built on lies here. However, how can you, if it was made to keep people in line, or if it was made to make people better? The fact is that I think people, if they don't have, especially back in the day, if they don't have fear, of this horrible hell, fire and brimstone when they die. If they're bad people, then will they, get in line, or will they be good people? So are people inherently good? Yeah.
You know what the Inquisition was, right?
Huh?
The Inquisition.
Yes, the Grand Inquisition.
I'm not sure of my numbers. I don't think it was 80 million. I think that was what Hitler's war was, 80 million that perished or whatever.
80 million?
And then Stalin, that was another thing. I think, I could look it up right now, but you could look it up for me.
I will.
The Spanish Inquisition, I think they killed, what, 30 million people?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now. I did not even know.
The Catholic Church.
Right.
30 million.
Right.
Gone. I think that was through Pope Pius. See, that's the problem. I collect too much
Ferdinand,
information. and I drink too much. I'll be honest. I'm keeping honest.
Well, sometimes during these times of crises.
How many?
No, I said during these times of crises. No,
No.
according to modern estimates, 150,000 were prosecuted for various offenses, out of which 3,000 to 5,000 were executed. Where are they? Millions. 5,000 people were executed.
No, it's millions. Millions.
That just throws all of our. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Hold on.
Millions. Yeah. It was a big thing. It was like a big thing, bro.
No, I know. No.
But I don't want to be wrong with my information. I'm just saying, once again, I can lead you there, and then you look it up for yourself. But don't get too excited. Don't be too excited to go tell your friend, hey, you know this, blah, blah. Slowly collect the information. Be your own library.
Right.
And collect information. Most of the stuff that I have it recorded. You know? So it's not like I'm just coming up with shit. I'm throwing it out there because I haven't.
Yeah.
I have a reference.
They hated the Jews.
To everything that I refer to.
They hated the Jews even back in 1200. Anti-Semitic attitudes increased all over Europe during the 13th century. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God, spit over.
There's a lot to it. I mean, you know,
oh my God.
You sound like a black man in prison, but you know, the word history means his story.
Right. No, but dude, Spain's anti-Jewish sentiment steadily increased.
No, you don't.
Violent anti-Jewish riots broke out in Barcelona.
I'll say this. I'm gonna say this. I am truly, and I say this to you with.
There's a guy named Peter the Cruel.
This is where I really am. I love people. I'm a lover of people.
Let's not even dwell on this.
Even if you have a, you know, as long as you ain't no damn, you know, Satanist like into harming people, I'm not into it. I still got love for you, a compassion for you, because that's just the way I'm built.
100%.
But there's something very interesting. President Trump just signed something recently. A lot of people say don't worry about it, but I'm concerned about it. And it's been signed from Ronald Reagan all the way. Every president has signed this, and it's called the Noahide laws.
It's called the what?
The Noahide laws. They're changing the 10 Commandments to the 7 Noahide laws.
Noahide laws.
This shouldn't get you killed, but I don't give a fuck because it's true.
Channel.
Go look it up. I didn't invent it. They did it.
No.
But they did it behind the scenes where you don't see what's going on.
Right.
When there's a crisis going on, they'll be like, "Oh, go ahead and sign that shit real quick."
Right.
These motherfuckers turn around.
100.
And part of it is about getting you, Christianity or idolater. Certain things you don't have rights to, and some of it has something to do with getting beheaded. They signed it in as a education bill since somewhere in the 90s, I believe.
Holy shit!
Came out. Every president has signed off on this shit, so it will be law very soon.
No, the 104th, 102nd Congress passed it in 1991, 92. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's why I want everybody to do your homework. Don't listen to me. I just led you to the water. You look it up. See what it says.
Bro.
See, I'm not bullshitting. Shit's happening behind the scenes. That's going to be a detriment.
And everybody's worried about Sharia law. Dude, this is basically the same shit.
Yeah, bro.
And we've already passed it.
Guess who they get to chop the heads off?
Punishable by death by decapitation.
Now you see the light. See what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers.
Like, I don't talk. I try not to talk shit. I try not to. You know, if I say I have an opinion on something, it's an opinion. But when I tell you something, look into it.
Wow.
And
there's a Hyde Amendment?
Yeah, baby. Come on now. Come on, holla at your boy. Come on, man.
Gotta give you love right now, because this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
If there's anything to be taken away from this whole I mean, forget. I mean, that sucks. George Floyd. He died.
They can take your property.
He died. But if there's anything that you guys can really take from George Floyd's death, you learned about the Noah Hyde laws.
Yep.
Holy sh! I'm speechless right now, bro.
Check this out.
And all of our senators have been are passing it.
The smallest section. So this thing, don't. I'm trying to tell everybody, don't have nothing like, Jewish people as a whole. I mean,
no, there's Jewish people.
But it's
Jewish people are cool.
Like
the Zionists.
Always a tiny,
watch out for the Zionists.
The
Jewish people are cool.
That control 90% of our finances.
Yeah. No, Jewish people are cool.
So you can't come down on Jewish people because that's
not
what it's about.
No, they're not involved in no conspiracy or anything.
What's going on?
Jewish people are cool, man. One of my good friends. I mean, not just. Well, I had a good friend. No, but that they're not the deal. The Zionists. That's a different story.
Well,
those are totally different people.
Well, Zionist is different because Zionism is in Christianity. Zionism is in anything. You don't have to be of any.
I thought Zionists were the ones that believed that they were the ones that's why they took back the Israel. They took back the Israeli continent.
Listen, there's people in Israel right now that are dying to reach out to the world. Like, yo, it ain't what you think.
Henry Hyde, a Republican, was first passed in 1976.
A lot of good souls there, and it's like anything else: divide and conquer. You got a tiny group of people running shit, and they run it through fear. But the thing is, if you let fear control you, right?
Wow, this is unbelievable.
You're a dead man anyway.
Right. I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees.
Sleep on it. You know what I mean? Because at least you can die with your chest out and your head up and flat on your face or on your knees begging.
Right.
Begging for
I'll never.
You feel me?
Never. I don't care. I know people are put in bad situations when they, tell these guys capture them and tell them to get on their knees and stuff. I would just, I'd try to run. You could kill me like that, or you could just do whatever you want to. But I'd never get on my knees for no man.
Yeah, it's a strange parallel, man. It's like, man, we're not supposed to live this. I know people like.
We're supposed to live a good life, bro.
Likes and they want to be in this technological world and all shit, man. But don't forget what your human life is like. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. Nature, all that shit. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Can I play you something today?
All network shit for just natural life, living on the beach or farming my own food. I'm taking that shit, man. Fuck all this technological shit. Because once we get to that point of transhumanism and all this, all this transgender stuff going on.
Well, some people are going through some stuff.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Transgender.
Hey, if they're feeling that bad, man, if they're feeling that bad about all that, but if they're just doing it just to fit in, then that's a different story. But I don't think so. I don't think that's anything you would want to fit in.
They're being set up, bro.
Right. No, they are. Right.
Everybody's got a right to be whatever the fuck they want to do.
Right.
As long as it's not hurting anybody.
Right. Then who cares?
My
right.
thing is, don't get my head and tell me that you're a coffee table when you ain't a coffee table.
Okay. We're going to have a tangent. We're going to have a tangent right now.
I'm Andrea now.
I know.
Okay? If I'm a friend and I choose to call you Andrea, I'll call you Andrea. But don't tell me that, you got men inside.
Well,
like a broad on the outside.
Did you? I sent you that thing just recently on the Who Cares podcast. You could hear it on Spotify or iTunes about how do I owe the? I called for Megan, and now she's Steven. Does Megan still owe the debt because Steven doesn't want to have anything to do with Megan? You know what I mean? That was the whole basis of the debt.
Yeah,
called.
I saw that.
I
thought
mean,
it was brilliant. But the thing is,
how can you argue that?
The thing is, don't change my.
Right. What you want to do?
I don't think circumvent is the right word, but
yeah.
Don't change my reality.
Okay.
My reality is what your reality is what you want it to be.
Right.
But don't say because.
Well, let me ask you: would you not be friends with somebody who was not a transgender?
And you're like, yo, I'm a chick.
Okay.
No, dude, it don't work like that.
You wouldn't be friends with somebody who was a transgender?
Because I don't want to. No, listen.
That's what I'm asking you.
Let me make this perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Even before I moved to Hollywood, I had all kinds of fucking. I don't even know what to call them. From weirdos to, I'm not saying that homosexual gay people are weird. I'm just saying, you understand the kind of thing.
No, I know.
And so I don't get, because if you really look at that person, there's a soul in there. You see what I'm saying? There is a soul in there. Whether they're, whatever they think, whatever.
Motherfucker, you've been in some freaky situations, I know.
You can always identify with a person that, no matter what they're into.
Right.
Bro, I've known, I can't say serial killers, but
close to it, bro.
But I have understanding and compassion for people. I'm not gonna allow certain things. It's like I told you.
Right.
If a motherfucker just comes to me and says, "Yo, Serge, we're going rock climbing tomorrow. You want to come?" I'm like, "No." They were like, "Why?" "Cause I don't rock climb." You understand me? I mean, I would just keep it that simple. I don't rock climb. Holler at me when you get back. But I don't rock climb. So let's go on it. You feel me?
Sergio, can I play this for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was sent this morning by my uncle, and I'd seen this a long time ago. From the.
I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white.
Yes.
We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness,
what's the name of that?
we need kindness and gentleness.
What's the name of that?
These qualities, life will be violent.
The Great Dictator, final scene.
The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men.
Charlie Chaplin, The Great Dictator, the final scene.
The unity of us all.
He wrote this.
You can put that on your. You should definitely put this on your.
On the net. Yeah.
Victims of
On the bottom of this podcast. That's a very good one to look at.
This where he kills it right here. Watch.
Hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever heard that speech before. Maybe if anybody's watching this, I don't know. But hopefully you guys all heard that.
Well, you should leave the link for them.
I will. It's Charlie Chaplin.
these podcasts, we'll leave links for people to look at things. Like what's his name? Alfred. Not. Oh God, what's his name? The guy who started the KKK. What's his name?
What? Who's that? Like,
that's me farting, dude.
That's who the hell did you?
First man to
Alfred E.
fart
Newman?
Come on, man. First love. Like, I really don't give a fuck these days, man.
Alfred E. Newman founded the KKK? Is that it?
Yeah, this is not Manly P. Hall.
I'm losing my natural light
over
over
here.
here.
A very interesting letter he wrote. God, what was his name? He basically laid out. This was, I think, in the 1800s. He laid out how each world war would go and how it would turn out.
The founder of the KKK.
Yes, he did it. Oh God, and he is like a god in DC. He is Freemason. He's
such
like
a small
god
thing.
there. His picture is like, I mean, they built like almost a whole shrine for him on 1400 Pennsylvania Avenue, or 1600, whatever it is.
James Crow?
What is his name? What?
James Crow?
No. Jim Crow was.
Oh, yeah, stupid Jim Crow. That's Jim Crow laws. What the hell
Crow's
am I
out.
talking about?
I told you about my great grandfather, right?
No.
My
Nathan
great-grandfather.
Forrest?
My great grandfather.
No, Nathan Bedford Forrest.
I'm sorry?
Nathan Bedford Forrest?
No. Oh, damn, I should.
Who is it? Who's
I'm
that?
unprepared. I should have my notes on the side, but I cover so much information, I sometimes forget names.
Ulysses S. Grant. Oh, no, that's our president. Never mind.
No, it was, he wrote a letter to...
Who is that? Let's see. I have no idea.
Leader. He invented the KKK.
Okay.
And he was, I believe was he court-martialed?
Wow, it was actually a resistance to the Republican Party.
Some of the atrocities that he created, I think he was somehow regarded one of the greatest leaders of our time. He was like a war what is his name? Jesus.
Are you talking about the not what's his name? The great general of the South, Virginia.
And then here's some more information on how this country was subverted, or almost subverted before. There's a great guy named.
Well, let's go back to the. What are you talking about? The Ku Klux Klan? That you just threw me for a loop. What did this guy do that was so great? What do you mean that he
Oh no! This other guy, Smedley Butler, one of the most decorated military men of our time.
Snidely Whiplash?
It's Smedley Butler.
That's a crazy name.
He was laughed out of government. Laughed out when he dropped dimes saying, "Yo, they trying to take over the country. They want me to take the Marines and the military and take this country over." And he got laughed out. They came to him. I think this is 19. Oh God, look up Smedley Butler.
That's a hilarious name. If your name's Smedley, you just here it is. Yes, Smedley. Wow.
Yeah, one of the most decorated Marines of our time.
His nickname was Old Gimlet Eye.
And he got infiltrated, and he went out there and spoke on it. He spoke on it. Told them. They laughed his ass out.
What do you mean? He spoke on what?
On the conspiracy to take over the
alleged plan to overthrow the United States government. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this shit's been going on for a long time, but I'm trying to get to this other. Oh, Albert Pike. That's what I was thinking about.
Albert Pike.
Albert Pike.
And this guy did what? Oh, here he is.
Well, he
died
wrote a letter
1800.
to his boy in England.
Freemason.
Talking about praising Lucifer and all this shit.
Oh wow, he looks like a piece of
very
garbage.
evil man. Freemason.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
And most they look at him like he's God, bro. But he talks about Lucifer. He talks about all that shit, bro. You gotta it's just too much for a lot
Albert
of people.
Pike. You think that guy doesn't?
This because
That guy doesn't love being him. Fat.
If you want to look at how the origins of how some of this stuff came around, because it didn't just appear out of thin air.
Right.
People have been embedded in our society society for a very long time, and they have been
what a smug asshole this guy is.
Powerful people, and so this shit didn't just come up. CNN just didn't come up with this bullshit.
No, right.
That's what I'm saying.
100.
So,
what a smug dickhead this guy is. Look at this guy.
Who?
Albert Pike. Can you see it? What a smug dickhead.
Yeah. But look at what
He loves being this guy.
Letter? Did you see letter describing all 3 world wars? It's masterful, bro.
Really?
Because he predicted World War I to a T. Like he didn't leave out any details.
Wow.
He predicted World War II
Jesus.
to a T. And I believe he said something about after World War III, the next war we fought with.
Wow, this is fascinating, dude.
I could be mixing it up.
Yeah.
But he talks about, you should leave this as a link so the audience, our audience can see it.
They can look at it themselves. And you know what? To everybody out there that might have got a little bored, or maybe like, did we not touch upon the riots enough? But let me just tell you right now, you guys are getting more information, more understanding, more a larger scope of what's really going on as compared if you're going to go down and you're going to go loot the old Walmart for George Soros because he owns that thing anyways, and you're doing it for George Floyd, or I mean George Floyd passed away. I mean maybe, who knows? It could have been a whole nother thing, but as it looks like he passed away, and he's not coming back, and now you got to like think, right?
Yeah. And Steve, listen, if it wasn't for like what was going on yesterday, we probably wouldn't have done this podcast.
And that's how we honor his legacy, right?
We're just doing this shit on the fly. I mean, I promise you guys, in the future, I'll have my stuff together. I have everything laid out. So, and like I said, I'm not here to teach you anything.
Nope.
I'm just here to open your eyes so you can look it up for yourself and have your notes and whatever. And if you have any questions about where to get more information, because there's a lot of places like Wikipedia ain't what you think it is. Wikipedia is changing information on people as we speak.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I think he did there for everything.
Well, because it's made by the people. People can add and
by other forces that don't want to see what's true. There are a lot of books out there that it costs like $3,000 to get the book because it's the only book with the truth. There's a bunch of books out there like that.
The Never-Ending Story?
$2,500. You can't buy it nowhere. I mean, there's so many books out there like that tell the real story or the real history of things, and that's why they cost so much, because they know most people ain't gonna be able to get in there and buy that book or access that material.
Or go to the 26 miles of Vatican.
Yeah, 26 miles of the Vatican. Yeah, go 20 miles, make a left.
Well, man, we've been going on the satanic section.
What the fuck, bro? Come on, man. Listen, we'll do a show on the Vatican, and I'll show you some aerial things of the Vatican.
No, we're gonna get some good. This is our first broadcast.
The building that's shaped like a serpent with the fangs and the whole shit. Man, it'll blow your mind, bro.
This is our first broadcast back, and we have some very humble beginnings, but all the pieces are being put in place. So we have state of the art, and we're able to like actually integrate the different links and whatnot. Not just talk about it, but maybe people listen a little more to it, because we're just talking.
We'll cover a lot of things because I know people are in a panic mode now. People
Right.
are starting to say, "What the fuck is going on?"
Right.
What these people have been doing for a long time, a lot of stuff is hidden in plain sight. I mean, you walk by shit every day and you don't even see. They put it right in your face. So, at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, they can say, well, we showed it to them. It was right there in their face. They chose not to look at it.
Right.
I mean, it'll blow your mind how much stuff is.
And in saying that is one of the blessings of living here in the United States. Let's not just totally disregard the United States, because they do, in their quest for conquering all of us, they have given us the ability much more over. I mean, we could have been born in North Korea, we could have been born in communist China, and we couldn't even go out of the house without our feet being binded.
Yeah. What's so funny is like they're all in bed together. They talk about,
True.
Russia's
True, but people, there's no rats and bats in North Korea because they eat them.
Like even Democrat, Republican. right?
It doesn't matter.
It's a bird.
Same thing.
But it needs two wings. One's Republican, one's...
Right.
It needs both to fly. It's the same.
And they try to dumb us down like a football game. Oh, you root for Ohio State or you root for Michigan. You know what I mean? Stupid.
Same shit. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So,
They're like odds makers, you know. I mean, I used to bet on sports all the time, and I'm like, how the fuck are they like right there? How do they know? Like,
the spread.
Because the game's controlled. But people refuse to accept that. Oh no, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. Really? Ask the motherfucker in the skybox was crack. You know what I'm saying? How do these games? How does every basketball game
come within those points?
20 in the third, or they're down by 30. How does that team always come back?
Always cover the spread.
Within 10.
Always cover the spread.
Every game. It's all control, bro. It's all control. All of that shit. It's all garbage. I don't bet like I used to, but I still, you know.
That's good.
Maybe I do a parlay or something, but I don't. It's all garbage.
Well, to the people out there, we're betting on you.
Bet on yourself. That's the key.
Right. There you go.
You know,
100.
The thing is, the last thing this country needs is a team, another team. We got to figure out how to just be one big team and like forget our indifferences and stuff and figure out how we can move forward because.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Serge. You know, you've been in like so many different situations. You've been in, you know, you've worked with people that you don't like, but you respect them, like or they help you out in work. It's not like you guys are gonna go get a beer afterwards. It's not like you guys are gonna go become, and that's just the way the world is. You don't have to like everybody.
Just figure out a way to work with each other.
Right.
For the greater good. I mean, there's so many times, you know. Sometimes you want to put biscuits on my buddy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or sometimes I'll hear somebody talking shit about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I can look him in the eye, you know what I mean? And he'll fold like a beach chair. But instead of causing that shit, I'm in this environment. I got a job to do. Let me go do this shit.
Right. What's really weird though is when they don't fold though. What's really weird is when they don't fold.
Huh?
What's really weird is when they don't fold.
When
they don't fold and you expect them to, and you're like, oh, this mother, okay, all right, and you have to work with them, but yet you may not like each other.
Sometimes they fold out of kindness, bro.
When you're kind to people, 100%, and it blows everybody's mind. Blows everybody's mind.
Trip out, do stupid shit out of fear, man. They just,
it's out of fear.
They fear you, not like they're scared of you, but they fear you because they don't understand you.
Right.
You know like, I don't like snakes because I fear them. I don't understand anything about them. I don't like the way they move and shit like that. But if somebody educated me, that's a little different. But you see what I'm saying? It's like the basic. But with human beings, people find the thing to not like somebody, and what was in their head is completely wrong. I met a dude who was his whole family was KKK. I helped him out with his car, and he's like, man, I never even knew. I didn't even know, man.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this, like on old dating sites, or I mean, some dating sites do, Bumble or something. And like, there's a lot of terrible girls that hit you up, terrible girls. But it's not like you're gonna go out of your way to tell them, not interested, loser, you know. But there's girls that will tell that. Not me personally. Maybe it's happened but just to be, and who knows if that girl's even like, you know, whatever she is. But the person that goes and does that to somebody without knowing that person, without even, they're unloved people, dude. They're not even, they may be pretty or they may be something, but they're either they were never loved as people growing up, and that makes them the ugliest people on the planet. I'd much rather hang out with some chick that may not be the prettiest in the whole world, but she is beautiful. Like, you know, and as soon as somebody acts a fool like that, and I mean, there's so many times that we could just kill people's emotions and kill people's spirit just because of the way they look, and you don't do that. Why? Because why would you want to do that? What does that do for you? Does that make you feel better? It doesn't.
Well, I got two things to say about that. Like, you know, I'm from the old school. You know, I've never been on a dating site. Shit. When I had my followers when I was doing Raleigh comedy.
You ever been on Tinder?
I never hooked up with anybody on
Never swiped left or right?
Because I like to hunt for my food. You know what I mean? I'm like a lion, you know.
called
I
swipe
jump
left.
out the bushes, drag him in the bushes, and fucking have my meal. No, but I was saying I deal with it differently. But we live in this technocratical, whatever, world, and you gotta be careful with things like that because let's say you're online. It's
in real life too.
Thing. You know what I mean?
I never make people feel bad.
What's that shit where you swipe? What do you
Swipe left, yeah, left to right, Tinder, right? I mean, that's just yeah.
You swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't know that you think they're ugly. It doesn't go back to them. But I'm saying even in real life, like if a girl comes up and you can tell she's really excited about like trying to meet you, I will find the nicest way possible. Like I gotta go get a drink or I gotta do. I'm not gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What in what world did you think that you could actually come and talk to me? You fucking dirty piece of shit. Like I would never do that. Why would I want to do that to that person?
Nothing wrong with size because there's something for everyone. I don't, you know.
I'm talking about the idea of it, and I know we're getting off on tangent, but just treat people weird.
Big girl, right? I don't keep that much meat in the freezer, so but that's just my preference.
All right.
You know
you like bigger girls?
It could be.
I don't.
Different aesthetics. People like different things. There's something
right.
for everybody.
Right.
And I know there's a beautiful girl of size of like damn.
But you're not gonna just. Somebody comes up to you, you're not gonna make them feel like a piece of garbage just because.
You don't shit on people.
Right. And there's people that actually will do that, and I've seen it all the time. You know, they get a little big head or they get a little this or that, and they don't realize that that's an unloved person.
You don't give them something to feed on. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You don't give them something to feed on. You don't see.
You can't. I mean,
hot chicken have a barbecue sandwich hanging out your pocket. Hey girl, let's go fuck her up. No.
Oh my god. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what, Steve? This has probably been the most serious show that you and I have done, podcast.
Well, it's much needed.
We usually have a lot of fun on here.
Yeah, we do.
Because of what's going on, I just wanted to get some information out there. I was all over the place. You know, I was taken by surprise doing this thing. And I'm enjoying myself, having a few drinks or whatever. But we have a lot of fun. Normally, we have a ton of fun. We're always laughing. There's always funny shit to talk about. But I just don't want people.
Right now is not that time.
With all this stuff going on.
I mean, we try to make the best of it right now, but yeah, 100%.
Yeah. We just want to get a little bit of information out there and start everybody trying to educate themselves.
Right. And if any of you have anything to say, if you have any questions for us, Serge, where can they reach you at? On your Instagram or on your Twitter?
Well, you can reach me at Instagram. It's damn, I forgot my Instagram. I just changed it.
I think I have it on here.
It's Sergio Love 777. I think it's Sergio Love 777 on Instagram and Sergio Love 7777 at gmail.com.
It's just Sergio Love 77.
And I'll set everything else up. I just haven't been on top of my stuff.
No worries. Sergio Love is 77 on Instagram, and you can reach me at Steven at Who Cares the Podcast, or right here on Twitch. Go in the chat box. I'm not really sure. I'm not interacting because we're getting back in the whole scheme of things, and I'm trying to get. I'm not a tech guy by any stretch of imagination, so I'm trying to get the audio to work concurrently.
It'll be really interesting because there'll be some really interesting things for people that are really interested in learning stuff and getting stuff in there. You know, understanding what's happening right now.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a weekly thing. You know, like you have your own, like, you know.
And I'm telling you, it'll be to the point where our viewers will be giving us information that we didn't know about.
That's what I'm saying. So please interact with us. We don't know shit. We're just trying to.
That's the thing. I'm not trying to teach nobody. It's just
right.
Putting it out there and see what comes back. I'm more interested to see what the viewers have to say than what I'm saying or what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We welcome it all. We welcome every single one of you. No voice is wrong. It won't be judged. Not unless you're an asshole, but I mean, or whatever. But
we'll have fun.
You just get out of here.
We
won't do it.
Just look out for each other, man. You know, just don't. Nobody.
Yeah, just look out for each other.
People, try to avoid negative people, but just be open. Just be open and.
To thought, to people.
Share.
Ideas.
Share. Be good to one another, man. That's the best you can do, man. Best thing you can do. you know, and be of service to one another.
And on that note, thank you very much, Serge, for being here. Love you too much, man.
Always good talking to you, brother. And we'll wrap it up. But next week we'll do some fun stuff. All right.
Let's hope so. Or maybe Huntington Beach in LA is in flames.
Okay. You're on location and I'm like,
I'm coming to Vegas, baby.
Back to you, Steve.
Shit. Thanks, my man.
Shit.
Love you, brother.
All right. So we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon.